What is up, duelists? I just got home from YCS Orlando. I finished day two. I lost 3 rounds, drew another round, and therefore didn't make top cut. It was over after round 10. Nevertheless, I wanted to show you my deck, my thoughts about it, because I think my thoughts were right. The games I lost, they were pretty much out of my control, or I would say all three of them were out of my control. The one I drew was a bit unfortunate. It took very long. It was against Malice. He paid himself down to 1500, but he swung over my body like previous turn for 1500 damage. So it was just even, and then it got called time, and he obviously didn't continue any further playing with Malice plays in his main phase. So therefore, it was an unfortunate draw. Let me show you what I brought to the tournament. I played Fiendsmith Ryzeal with a little bit of a bigger Bystial package. It is just a deck I feel the most comfortable with. I practice it very, very, very much and tested out a lot of stuff. Yes, Malice is a great deck, and that's why but I don't feel too comfortable with Malice. And also I just try to focus on beating Malice, especially game 2 and 3. It ended up me just losing a single game 1 during the entire tournament. So I think my main deck is pretty okay. Let me just show you what I brought. We start off with a pretty basic Ryzeal lineup. It is the 10 starters, 10 good cards, and the 2 bricks. I wanted to include them because I think, especially against Malice, you kind of need to, if you go first, establish a board that beats their hand. Cross does a super great job with that. And also, if you go second, you can just try to clear the board and then end on field spell and maybe detonator, which is a super great end board against Malice. So that's the 12 Ryzeal cards, a standard Fiendsmith package. Nothing much to say about that. I don't play three tracks. I don't think 3 is too much because you don't want to see multiples. But if you see Graver plus track, that's okay. So let's just try to see at least one of them, one of the Fiendsmith cards. Obviously not that one. I didn't draw it a lot actually, so I'm very happy about that. I drew field spell like every other game almost. I don't blame this card. That was it for the engines. Now the hand traps. Played the 3 Fuvalos. I think coming to this tournament, this card is a very, very strong card, and I wanted to include it in every main deck I would have played probably. The 3 Ash to beat it. 3 Whaler. I played Whaler over Imperm because I upped my Bystial package to have a better matchup in the mirror match. So, and Imperm just does not work very well with Bystial. If they start normal ice, you don't want to Imperm that. If you have Imperm Bystial in hand, you don't want to Imperm the ice because you get punished by so many things. So you want to Bystial first and then keep the effect negation for Duo Drive, which you can do if you have Bystial Whaler, which you can do if you have Imperm Bystial. So that is why I decided to do that. The rest of my hand traps were 2 ups. This is a bit many guys don't like it. I tried to play as much different hand traps as possible, except for the broken ones, mandatory ones, and the ones that is no once per turn, obviously, because you try to draw a lot of cards. You can also see it in my side deck. I try to draw a lot of cards. If you draw 2 of the same hand traps, or if you have Ash and you draw in another Ash, that is unfortunate. So I try to draw as many different hand traps as possible, so all of them are alive. Ghost Ogre was very, very good. 2 Nibs only, because Nib is a good card. Nib is a good card if paired, but Nib by itself does not do a lot. And also just if you don't open Nib, top decking Nib is so bad in most of the scenarios because turn 3 or even further, they usually don't commit more than 5 summons, or Nib has a hard time there. So you rather want to have like a 1-for-1 hand trap than Nib as a top deck. Bell was mainly against Malice. I respected the deck a lot. I think it was the best deck going into the tournament. So I wanted to have my main deck as well prepared for it. Bell performed pretty nice. It was also like a bit of a risky call because Bell is super bad into the pure Ryzeals, which fortunately I only played one, I think, which I won. I didn't draw Bell there, so yeah, I was lucky about that. For the other matchups, I think Bell is a great card. Then the Bystials, I played Magna, Triple Druids, Double Baldrake. This is, you can debate if you want to play 2 Druids, 1 Baldrake, but I think Druids alone by itself does more than Baldrake by itself. And because I only played 2 Nib, I think it's correct to play just 2 Baldrakes because it's like one body less that puts itself on the board to make Baldrake live. And also, Druids is a way better 6th card than Baldrake is. Last card is Talent. Love the card. I try to include it in every deck I play. It is one of my favorite cards in the game. I actually wish I played more of this card. It would have been so good in so many scenarios. But yeah, by right now, I don't know what I would have cut it for it. So that was the main deck. It is 42 cards. Like I said, I was more or less happy about it. The Bell is something you can debate, but yeah, I think it performed pretty okay. So the extra deck is super standard. It is that double detonator, duo drive, dweller, exciton, aggregator, the Fiendsmith package, 2 Requiem. I think you have to play 2 if you play the Fiendsmith deck. Also, many of the guys, like almost all of the guys that did well with the deck, play 2 Requiem, so it definitely is the right thing to do. Sequence, Agnum Day, Desiree, Princess, the DDD, and of course Chaos Angel. Cutting Exciton is something I heard about but did not want to consider because I like the card itself. Also like that you can equip Requiem to it after it's like gets negated, and then just go Necroquip, maybe put on a Caesar on top or whatever, just continue playing. That's like one of the reasons I like the card as well. It's also just like I like to have, if I go Fiendsmith combo, I like to not put a vanilla on board like Moon is. So yeah, you can talk about cutting it. Taiwan ended up cutting it. Yeah, I would have to think about it a bit more if it was correct or if it will be correct for the future tournaments to play without Exciton, but I did not regret playing it, definitely not. Side deck. The side deck is mainly there to beat Malice. You're gonna see a lot of Malice hate, and it was fine. I played like 3 or 4 Malice. I drew one against the other 3, so therefore I think it did its job. It is 2 Chaos Hunter, 2 Phantasme, Lancia, and Meowls. Lancia is a must, of course. Probably the best card against Malice. Meowls, it performed well. Meowls was a good card. I drew it only once, and there did its job. Gave me like 2 cards. So yeah, I think it's a good card by itself. Phantasme, I just really like the card, and like I said before, I want to draw cards. I want to draw the different hand traps I'm playing, and therefore Phantasme is so good at doing that. And also like putting back the bricks you draw, it just fixes your hand, and that's insane. The Chaos Hunter overperformed so much. I drew it 2 times, and both of the times it won me the game, like by itself almost. It got talented once, but then I nipped and won anyways. But yeah, you can even consider playing more Chaos Hunter. Card was insane, literally. It's so good against Malice. So many players are not playing Cerberus, so they don't have a real out to it. That's why it made it so strong. Another 2 of hand trap is Droll. I would have liked to play 3 Droll, but I think the only thing I could have cut was maybe one of the strikes. The last 3 cards are strikes. I thought about playing Strike or Metaltronus, but I think Strike is way better against Malice going first, because Metaltronus is better in Malice decks. So I played Strikes because it works against everything. Metaltronus pretty much only works against the mirror match. Against Malice it doesn't do anything. And yeah, I was super scared of Malice, as you can tell. Back to the draw thing. I think if you end on your field plus draw in hand, it's almost unbreakable. Draw itself performed very, very well. For me, also put me like in some weird scenarios when used against me. So therefore, I think Droll is actually pretty good card in the format. Yeah, that is it about my deck. Nothing too crazy, nothing too spicy. Overall, I lost to Mermail first, drew against Malice, lost a mirror match, Fiendsmith and Ryzeal, and then round 10 I lost to Yubel. Yubel just, I didn't have enough hand traps to stop it, and they just went crazy 2 times. Couldn't do anything about it. Mermail, I drew I won game 1. He blind scooped, so I didn't know what I play against. As I didn't draw, which would have ended up being pretty good. Didn't draw it, unfortunately. Only had 2 Bystials, and therefore he won. Game 3, I tried to end on Detonator Dweller. He nipped me. I was on for Wallace as well. He nipped me. Made Detonator to at least have some interruptions. He already did pretty easily with the new Poseidon level 7 monster, and had combo in hand. And he even showed me that he had extra set Encore in hand. So yeah, even Detonator Dweller wouldn't have done anything. So these 2 losses were a bit unfortunate. The mirror match, I thought about it a lot, but I couldn't find a point of what I could have done better. It was a Fubalas game. He won die roll, so but I still managed to win game 1. Yeah. Then he went first. I had no hand traps. He broke my board. I couldn't break his board, sorry. And game 3, I went first. Normal dice, he wallows me, drew 2 cards, no 3 cards even, because I only had 1 non-engine in hand, the Whaler that couldn't do anything about his combo. So I committed a little bit, but it had, Nip, Imperm for Caesar, and then faced Druid Swarm to clear everything, even cut off my Fiendsmith follow-up. That was unfortunate as well. As I said, I could not have done anything with my deck against that. Maybe I have to overthink some of the choices in my deck. If I'm going to find out what it is, you will definitely see about it in Birmingham. And yeah, other than that, if you have any questions, as always, let me know down in the comments. Any feedback, or just, let me know whatever you want to say. Thanks for watching, and see you guys for the next one.